Okay, so now what we're going to do is translate this table into graphs. So last lesson we did this guy, we made this table, but we're going to translate that, and that all comes from the unit circle. So let me actually put a picture of that also. So we'll go back to the trigonometry lesson there. And I'm going to, so it all comes out of this guy. I'll put a picture of that into the notes. So that's, it all comes out of this guy, unit circle. Now, what we're going to do now is translate this table over here. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so we can fit it all on the screen. Okay, so we're going to translate this table onto a graph. And to do that, I'm using from the tools the trigonometry graphing calculator. And I just set the y's to go from -1 to 1. We're not going to use it like that much, but this is where I'm setting it now. And so if we want to graph, for example, the cosines, that's the first one. At -2 pi, it starts at 1. Then at -7/4 pi, which is right here, it goes to 0.7. Then, and this is all what's happening in the circle, right? So -2 pi to -7/4 pi. Now the x value is going to go to 0. Then we're going to go to -0.7. That's over here. So we're on the left side of the circle. And so our x values are negative. So let me go back. And we're going to go to -0.7 at over here. And then when we go to minus pi, we're going to go to -1. That's on the far left side of the circle. Now we're going to go back. We're going to start rotating back to -0.7. We're rotating back from the far left side of the circle to -0.7 and back to 0. And then we rotate back to the right side of the circle to 0.7 and back to 1. As you see, from here, we went to -0.7 to 0 to 0.7 to 1, and we're back where we started, because that's what happens when you go around a circle. You'll end up back where you started. Now, and then we do the same thing all over again. Go down to 0.7, go down to 0, you go to -0.7, you go to -1, you go back to -0.7. We're back on the right side of the circle now with 0. Actually, we're in the middle of the circle, but now we're going to go to the right side, and we go back here, and that is another cycle, another round of the circle and so we have 2 cycles here of the cosine curve. And what we're going to get this is cosine of x. And if I draw a cosine of x, you see it goes through all of those points, but keeps going forever, both in the negative and in the positive side. It just keeps going and going and going. And I'm going to copy this into our notes. Like this. Now we're going to talk about the sine curve. So I'll scroll back up here. to the sine curve. And I'll change colors, so I'll make this guy actually color-coded to match what I did there. And we'll make that guy all right, let's see what I do. Maybe not. Oh, I'll be that way. All right, I'll color code it that way then. I'll make that guy the light blue guys. So I'll pick that blue. Now we're going to make this guy the sign. I'll draw in red, so we'll color code that guy as pink or salmon. Okay, so now the sine curve looks very different. So first I'm going to refresh my screen to give me, actually I didn't want to do that. Let's see. I'll just make this once again, go from -1 to 1 in y. And now we're going to go. The x values once again started -2 pi, but now we're doing the red sine value. So we start at 0. That is, we're down here on the middle. We're doing the y's, and we go up 0.7 and up to 1. Okay, so we go up 0.7 and up to 1. And you can say 0.71. So we start here, and I'm going to switch to red points, and we go 0, 0.7, and 1. And that'll take me to the top of the circle. Then we'll go back to 0.7 and back to 0. And we'll be back in the middle of the circle. And now we're going to, from 0, we're going to start doing the bottom of the circle. We'll go -0.7, -1, -0.7, 0. -0.7, -1, -0.7, and 0. And that will take us through the whole curve. And that's one cycle. And then we do another cycle. So we go up 0.7, up to the top, back down 0.7, back to the middle, and then we do the bottom half of the circle, down 0.7, down to the bottom, and then back 0.7 and back to the middle. And this is what the sine of x curve looks like. And you see, it also keeps going forever. I just have a limited space to graphic right now. And I'll put this whole thing in our notes as well. Put that down here. There we go. So that's sine x, that's cosine x, and now, and so that's how they graph. But for the rest of the time, we're not going to be talking about sine and cosine, because we're going to be talking about what happens when the circle gets bigger. But I'm going to do that in one more lesson.